Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back another video day, and today it's been reported by Bleacher Report and Hoops Hype that the Los Angeles Clippers have interest in signing Tyus Jones in a sign-and trade deal. This is very interesting to me because there's so much guard talent on the Clippers roster right now that I don't know where Tyus Jones fits in. Obviously, I think if they bring in Tyus Jones, they're going to find minutes for him, of course, because Tyus Jones is someone who, even though he was on the Washington Wizards last year as a starting point guard, averaged 12 points per game with 7 assists per game, 1 steal per game, was a great backup point guard for the Memphis Grizzlies. He even stepped up multiple times when Ja Morant would get hurt. In 80 games in the 22-23 season, averaged 10 points per game with 5 assists per game. With Memphis in the 2021-22 season, 9 points per game with 4 assists per game and only 21 minutes per game. So Tyus Jones is a good three-point shooter. He's a good scorer. He's a good facilitator. I mean, career from three, 37% this past season, 41% from three. With Memphis in the 2022-23 season, 37%, 21-22 season, 39%. So great three-point shooter, good scorer, great facilitator. So who wouldn't want Tyus Jones? That's a greater question of why. So honestly, the reason I say it would be a little difficult is because you already have so much guard talent. Obviously, Tyus Jones. This was 1 year starting for Tyus Jones. I think he's going right back off the bench because in the starting lineup they have James Harden and they have Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann starting at the 2, James Harden starting at the 1. Look, you could go smaller. James Harden has not always played point guard in his career. I'm going to go over that. James is also, mainly in his career, besides the last couple of seasons, has played shooting guard. So you could start Tyus Jones at point guard and put James at the 2 and then look to going and putting Terrence Mann at the small forward, which, he could do. And then you could put Kawhi at the 4 and then Zubac at the 5. I think at Kawhi's, at this point of his career, I think it'd be better for Kawhi to be at the 3, potentially less injuries for Kawhi at small forward than power forward, which I've seen. I've done a lot of Clippers offseason videos, talking about Paul George leaving, Nicholas Batum and Derrick Jones Jr. coming in. I've seen a lot of people say with Batum and Derrick Jones Jr., Clippers fans saying with Derrick Jones Jr. and Nicholas Batum coming in, they want to see Kawhi Leonard playing at the 3 and that they think that Kawhi playing the 3 might keep him a little bit healthy. We'll see. So I don't really see Tyus Jones in the starting lineup. I think James will stay at the 1, and Terrence Mann will probably stay at the 2, and Kawhi will be at the 3, Derrick Jones Jr. will be at the 4, and Zubac will be at the 5. So let's look off the bench. There's so much depth. I mean, they haven't got rid of Russell Westbrook yet. I think that will happen. I don't think Russ is staying in LA, so he doesn't really count. But they just signed Chris Dunn to I believe, a 1 or 2 year deal. He's someone who had a great season for Utah and is great defensively. I don't know about them not giving him minutes. So Chris Dunn is someone they brought in. Even though you can put this player at the shooting guard or small forward, they signed Kevin Porter Jr. to a 2-year, $5 million deal, who's a great scorer. And they also still have Bones Highland, who's a point guard, who they really like and has done a good job for them when he's gotten the proper minutes. So you got Bones, you have Chris Dunn, and you have Kevin Porter Jr., and you still haven't got rid of Russell Westbrook. So that's a lot of point guards off the bench. Yes, Kevin Porter Jr. can play shooting guard or small forward. You could probably move Chris Dunn to the shooting guard. But with Bones Highland or Russell Westbrook, if he stays, you can't. Those guys are point guards. So I don't see Bones Highland going anywhere. I do see Russ getting moved eventually. But what does a sign and trade look like to get Tyus Jones to LA? The Clippers have a couple contracts they could be willing to let go of. I think Bones Highland, a couple are Bones Highland, Russell Westbrook, and PJ Tucker. I think Russ and PJ Tucker are the two guys they want to get rid of the most. But I think a sign and trade, I think you're potentially looking at PJ Tucker and a second-round pick or 2, or maybe Russell Westbrook and a second-round pick or 2, or hey, look, maybe potentially I don't know about this one, but maybe just Russ and PJ Tucker and a second-round pick. I don't know, but I think it would be one of PJ Tucker or Russell Westbrook with a second-round pick or 2, maybe even both of Russ and PJ. But Tyus Jones would be a great addition for the Clippers. But there are a lot of talented guards on this roster already. So, look, you add in Tyus Jones. Let's just say sign and trade PJ Tucker and Russell Westbrook are going to Washington. That's probably not going to happen. It'd probably just be one of them with some draft picks. But let's just say both of them are going out. They're going to Washington, PJ and Russ. With that being said, if those two guys go to Washington, you have James and Terrence at the two guards, starting. And then off the bench, obviously, Tyus Jones becomes the backup point guard. You still have KPJ, you have Chris Dunn, and you have Bones Highland. I think Chris Dunn still gets minutes, but at the shooting guard. And Kevin Porter Jr. still gets minutes, but at small forward. But here's the thing. If Kevin Porter Jr. and Chris Dunn are getting minutes, you still have other guys in the rotation like Mo Bamba, Nicholas Batum, Norman Powell. So I think one of those guards, like Kevin Porter Jr. or Chris Dunn, who they've brought in and have been expected to be a part of this roster, does lose minutes because, I think one of those guys gets minutes, whether it's KPJ or it's Chris Dunn, because I don't see the Clippers going 11-man deep. Because if the Clippers want to play both Kevin Porter Jr. and Chris Dunn, they're gonna have to bring 6 men off the bench. Because you have Chris Dunn, you have Tyus Jones, if they'd make this addition, they have Kevin Porter Jr., Norman Powell, Nicholas Batum, and Mo Bamba off the bench if they make the Tyus Jones addition. So I think most likely it'd either be Kevin Porter Jr. or Chris Dunn losing minutes if you bring in Tyus Jones. And still, you have Bones Highland not getting any minutes. Let me know your thoughts on the potential sign and trade for the Clippers in the comment section, and peace out.